Printing Bidsheets. To print the Bidsheets, you make sure that you click on the Items button to pull up the Items window. Then you click on the Print Bidsheets button on the right hand side. This will bring up a menu where you can select Current Item First Sheet, which will print the first sheet for the item that you're looking at, or you can select Current Item Next Sheet, which will print the next sheet for that same item, meaning it will be the next set of increments for that item. When you're ready to print all your bid sheets, you would select the Select from List First Sheets, which is option number 4. When you click on that, it will bring up this window, and as you can see, you have a set of item types on the left, and that's how you're going to print your bid sheets. So when you print bid sheets, you will print these different items types separately. So first we're going to do the live auction, and as you notice, when you select live auction, it automatically tags the live auction category, and you click OK, and it'll give you a list of all your live auction items, and you simply select them all. You click OK, and it'll prompt you if you want to print live design or silent design. So silent design is a standard bid sheet. Live design is probably what you want to go with, and it gives you some options. You can print a condensed bid sheet, meaning that it'll have all the live auction items on the same sheet, or you can choose option number 1, which will give you one sheet per item. Okay, so this is how the live auction bid sheet would look like. You have your title, description, everything that you selected to display on the bid sheet, and then it has several boxes for people to enter the bid. So in most cases, you're only going to use one of the boxes if you only have one winner. And the reason we have several is just in case people or the guests want to share the price of a live auction item between several people, or if the person who wants the item gives it back so that somebody else can bid on it. So in which case you will use the unit field to determine or to show how many units there are. So unit number 1, unit number 2 if there's actually 2 items, or if it's a shared item, it would be the same unit split or shared by several people. Okay. We're going to do big board items. So I select big board. It automatically highlights any big board categories that I may have. So you can have several big board categories. In this case, we only have one, so we're going to click OK. Again, it gives you a list of only the big board items. We do select all, click OK. Again, it'll prompt you if you want to do a standard bid sheet, silent auction design, or a big board bid sheet. So we'll select how many bids per item. So here we enter, the way big board bid sheets are printed is that they're usually printed half sheet or quarter sheet, which is a stack of papers for the same item, and as guests place bids, they simply pick the amount from that stack that they want to bid, they put the sticker, and they hand it to the person managing the big board. So depending on what your experience tells you how many of these bids you're going to need, then you print or type in that number in here. So we're going to do 30. Well, just for an example, we'll do 10. The big board bid sheet, and as you can see, there's 2 of those per item depending on your selection. 2 per page depending on your selection. And as we move on to the other pages, the amounts will increase, and like I said, this will be a stack of bid sheets for each item with incrementing amounts or with different amounts. Next, we will do standard items. Here we will select standard items, which will be the majority of your items, and by selecting standard and clicking OK, you will get a list of only your standard items, or if you only want to print specific categories, you simply double click on the categories that you want to include, and that will filter that list to include only those categories. In this case, we want to include all items, so we're going to click and tag all, leave standard selected, and click OK. and this will give you a list of all your standard items. So we're gonna go ahead and click select all, click OK, and here we'll get some options for your standard bid sheets. And the first one that you want to notice is whether you want to print full sheet or half sheet. So full sheet is the most common one. The only reason you would use half sheet is if you're really short on space, and this will actually print half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet cut in half vertically. So basically you get a long skinny bid sheet. And next we have the duplex option. So if you do have a duplex printer, you can select bind long edge, and that will allow you to print a bid sheet that has a back and a front. For this example, we will select duplex printer none, which will print only one sheet per page, the front of a page. Next thing you want to look at is the display options, and this is where you're going to be able to select what you want to show on the bid sheet. So if you want to include your donors, the description, the restrictions, the certificate expiration date, the fair market value, so all these options you can select here. You can also choose to include a header for the bid sheet. You can type a specific text. You can have the header be the category name or the solicitor name. You also have some margin options, which you probably don't need to worry about. And then you have some formatting options here at the bottom. Okay, once you've made your selections, you can go ahead and click preview. And one thing before I forget, you also have a fonts button where you can change the font size and type for any section on the bid sheet. Okay, so once you've selected your options, you can click preview, and here you will have your standard bid sheets. Next, we will move on to multi-unit items. So these are your sign-up parties that have a fixed price with more than one unit. And by clicking on that, it will filter the list to show only those multi-unit fixed price items. So you can click OK. In this case, we only have two. We can select both of them, click OK. And again, it gives you some options here. You can include prices inside the boxes, and you'll see what that means in a second. So here we have the multi-unit fixed price item bid sheet. So you basically have a box for each unit that you have available for that item, and the user or the guest simply puts their sticker to cover one of these boxes, and they will be charged the amount inside the box on their invoice. The last type of item is a fixed price item, and this is a single unit fixed price item. So we're going to go ahead and select that, and this is most commonly used for centerpieces or items that are unique and that are fixed price, so that way you can assign a specific ID to each one of those items even though they are all the same price. So we're going to do select all, click OK, and here we get a set of options for these fixed price type items, which are, like I said, most commonly used for centerpieces. So the default text here is to be included or is specific for centerpieces, and of course you can change that to whatever you want. And here we have the option to select the size of the card or the bid sheet for those items. So you have different sizes that you can select from. We're going to select 2x5 on letter. We'll do preview, and here we have the items, and of course these are meant to be cut into little cards. So you will cut across here, and you will have a card that you can attach to a centerpiece item, for example. And that concludes the tutorial for printing Bidsheets.